Hello, welcome to Sitecore User Group Hyderabad. Today we are hosting an event. Vishal and I are hosting this event, and we have a session speaker Ritesh Kumar who will be talking on about unlocking automated email campaigns, wherein we are leveraging Excel Cloud and Sitecore Send for personalized user engagement. Over to you, Ritesh.
Okay, thank you. Just give me a second. Hello, everyone. Good evening, morning. Uh, so, as Yamini mentioned, that I'll be sharing my experience and work done around XM Cloud and the Sitecore Send. That's more around the automation. As in today's digital world, the marketing automation is one of the important functionality and across the organization all of us uses that. So we'll talk about that. I'll share my screen and then we'll get it take it from there. Just you all can hear me clearly, right?
Yep. Yeah, your screen is visible now.
So let me just put it in. S- okay, so again, welcome everyone. I'm gonna talk about some of the composable service. The major focus will be around Sitecore Send and the XM Cloud. And before I start with the session, yeah. So quickly about myself, my name is Ritesh Kumar. I'm based in Noida, stay in Delhi. 18 years of industry experience in total, and mostly I come from the banking background, BFSI, and after that I moved into the mostly into the DXP space, which is digital experience practice. I had the digital experience practice in Icreon, which is based in Noida, and from last approximately 6 years, I'm working in the Sitecore and other DXP products. So from a work perspective, I have done almost more than 20 Sitecore projects and certified in XM Cloud, CDP, personalized, and the older version of Sitecore as well. You can reach me out on the LinkedIn. So that's about quick summary would me. So the agenda of today's session is how we leverage the XM Cloud and Sitecore Send. This is mostly on the combination of these two and how we do the personalized user engagement, end-to-end personalized user engagement. So XM Cloud, as we know, it's a headless CMS, but we'll talk about that. But the idea here is to we'll take a couple of use case, and those will be like live use cases which I got the chance to work and share the knowledge here. So quickly, as part of today's agenda, I'll quickly touch upon the composable DXP because I want to touch few more services, composable services. We'll talk about XM Cloud, Sitecore Send, how we are integrating XM Cloud, Sitecore Send, email campaign, automation, some of the technical deep dive around the APIs and the SMS and the workflow. Right? So these are some agenda and while we speak. So I'm sure all of you are aware about this beautiful diagram which Sitecore released a couple of years back. And in today's session, if you see, what we're going to talk about is first thing is the enterprise CMS. That is XM Cloud, and the marketing automation and the Sitecore Connect. So these are three composable services I'll be talking through, right? So just for a background, composable DXP is like we got a set of products available, and based on the business needs, which product we want to uh, choose for a specific business use case. So for example, if an organization wants to build a website, digital platform, and wants to provide the personalized engagement. When I say personalized engagement, it means more around personalizing the experience based as an anonymous user or based on the identified user, right? So there could be a combination of I go for XM Cloud plus personalize, and if there is a CDP, which is a customer data platform, then all the user engagement will be available in customer data platform, and we can leverage that uh, historical data to personalize the experience. So the idea here is to, based on the business needs, we can choose the product and plug and play those products, right? So that's the idea of the composable DXP. So there are other product as well. You see intelligent content search, agile CMS, then DAM, then Sitecore Order Cloud. There is a product discovery and content operation, but the focus will be mostly into the XM marketing automation and the Sitecore Connect. So quickly, I know most of you are already aware about what is the XM Cloud, but for those folks who's new to XM Cloud, traditionally we used Sitecore XP XM, which is Experience Platform. So Sitecore Experience Platform is mainly like your traditional CMS. Over the years, Sitecore's evolved their product, right? And it is a combination of different modules within a single platform. That's why we call it as a Sitecore Experience Platform that consists of your core CMS. Then you got email email experience manager, forms. Then you got experience analytics. There are a lot of products. Some of these are the integrated part of the XP suite. And then later on, they got a new variant of platform DXP. They call it, when I say they, Sitecore call it platform DXP. That is mostly Sitecore uh, XM. That's also platform. But later on, they brought it this headless CMS because most of the uh, industry. So if you see the traditional implementation, there is a tight coupling between front end and back end for the XP and XM. But in XM Cloud, which we call it as a headless CMS, where it is a cloud-based SaaS tool which allows us to host, and it is hosted by Sitecore, host our content in the cloud, and we can choose any one of uh, our head, which is the front end, based on our use, right? So Sitecore XM Cloud is a cloud-based platform that provides tools and features for managing and optimizing digital experience. These are loosely coupled, no relationship between front end and back end. It's all API based, right? And it is a complete separation of the platform from the front end and the back end, right? So as in the previous slide, I mentioned composability is one of the aspect, right? Uh, if I want to build any component, I can use any available component in the Sitecore quickly, and both front end and back end team can work in parallel to build that. So first thing is plug and play, which is the composability. We can use any front end, Sitecore as a back end, XM Cloud as a back end, and any front end we can use. And the faster time to market, because it's the time to do the uh, engineering or implementation, that becomes faster. It is a scalable because it is in a cloud based on the load. That is something we are not managing any kind of infrastructure. For XM Cloud, it is hosted by Sitecore, and all the content is being delivered using Experience Edge. And Experience Edge is like a, you can say that it is a CDN which is available over the cloud and easily accessible. It is locally available to access the data, right? So that's the scalability aspect of the benefit. And you might have seen is the Pages, which is the new editor of the XM Cloud, which can be, which is very intuitive and easy to create content. Not all the functionality, like if you see all the kind of content management experience what we do in a content editor, all of them are not available in Pages. There are some limitation at this point of time, but most for the marketeer, if you see, they are able to perform most of the content related activity, image swapping the images, writing the content, creating the linkage. So day in day activities becomes very easy for them, not like going into content editor and expanding the node, go step by step. So previously the Sitecore was a little bit tedious in using the content management, but in the new page editor, it becomes simpler. So that's the aspect. From the feature perspective, supports Jamstack, which is the latest architectural approach. It provides the GraphQL, multi-site management, support for GitOps, self-service deployment, content explorer tool. So these are kind of features which XM Cloud provides, which makes easy for the engineering team, for the marketing team, for the customer to use this product. So that's a quick background about XM Cloud, right? And if anyone has got a chances, questions, feel free to ask in between as well, or we can take it at the end. So I just wanted to set the platform, quick overview around the XM Cloud. Now I'll quickly and then we'll show you the platform as well, like uh, to see the different kind of products what we have. I'll, so this is Sitecore Cloud portal, right? This is more around a single entry point for all the composable product which Sitecore got at this point of time. All of them are, we can access it using single entry point. Uh, and we'll talk about more into demo. Now we touched base around Sitecore XM Cloud, not talking about Sitecore Send. So Sitecore Send is a cloud-based email marketing solution that lets you target your audience as a scale. It means when at the start, as I mentioned, like any marketing in day out, all of us we see like there are a lot of email coming in, right? Which allows us to, you know, see the offers or any kind of promotions is running. Company keeps sending the emails with a different coupon code, maybe very personalized offers, right, based on the type of customers, or maybe there are customers who is a very frequent doing in shopping, right? So they keep sending those kind of personalized email that okay, get 20% discount, 50% discount, this kind of thing, right? So Sitecore Send is some all these functionality. If we use doing the Sitecore Send, there is no software installation required, right? Everything is on cloud. Say interface where we go, we say okay, create a list, and we'll talk about that, right? In the demo as well. So it is a platform which we use to automate the entire marketing solution, right? And ensure that get the right engagement to the user. Sitecore is formerly known as a Moonsend. It was a product, original product is Moonsend, right? So from 2021, Sitecore is on the path of the composable service, composable DXP, and during that initiative, Sitecore acquired a couple of products. So one of the product was Moonsend, and they white labeled it to Sitecore Send, right? It was acquired in somewhere May 2021, and now it is a part of the composable DXP. So I'll talk about like a quick workflow, right? How the XM Cloud and Sitecore Send gets this connectivity from the user perspective. So on the very first swim lane, it's a Sitecore. We call it, assume that it is a XM Cloud, right? And the second one is the website where you have a visitor coming in. And the third is the Sitecore Send platform, right? So first one, we create forms in XM Cloud, right? Add a form component to a page, right? In a content editor, add a form component to a page, publish that page. That page, the form gets live on your website, right? Any users comes in, fill up the form submission is done. The user journey ends there, right? So user journey, and there might be a thank you message, or maybe an email going through that, thanks for submitting the uh, form, and there might be some next action. From the marketing automation perspective, when the form gets submitted, there is a rule, we call it as a trigger automation rule, right? This automation rule, it could be like sending a transactional email, right? As I mentioned, thank you for completing a form. Please click on this link to download some stuff, right? Some document, some PDF, some blogs, something like that. And once this automation rules, this particular user who submitted the form, that it gets added into a particular mailing list, right? So in a Sitecore Send, uh, like for every recipient or every subscriber will be part of the mailing list, and the design of that mailing list may vary based on the business use case. For example, and I'll talk about that. So let's take a step here, like automation rule. Now in Sitecore Send, when admin logs in, it creates a campaign and right and define an email template, and it sets up the trigger. All right, set up the triggers and automation rules. What it says is like when a user submits a form, right, then and add a tag, add any kind of flag which will trigger this automation rule, right? And once this automation rules trigger, add user to mailing list, right? And send an email. Email could be anything, any transactional, any promotional, any offers, right? That gets triggered, and post that might be user click on the email and go to your shopping cart or the website to do a further shopping, for example. So this is a very simple workflow which talks about how Sitecore backend, which is XM Cloud, uh, Sitecore, that's a website which is maybe Next.js, React, or any other of technology, right? And the Sitecore Send, how these get instructed, right? So that's the a high level integration flow on that. In Sitecore, what happens is like in Send, there are logically there are two kind of list. One is a generic list and one is a specific list. This kind of list is not like you will find a similar kind of definition. But logically, what happens is anybody comes, any user comes on the website, right? That user will gets added into a master list, right? So that's called a generic list. It is not specific to any product or any specific offers, right? So it's a generic list where you have everyone in the list. So we call it as a generic list. And the second list, which we define within the send, or business say, okay, I want to send an offer. Anybody who to for this particular product, let's create a separate list because they want to promote any kind of offers and promotion related to that particular product, right? So that goes into a specific list, and list is like logically it's a segment where you have a group of subscriber within that list. So maybe in generic list, if suppose our website has 10,000 users, then all the 10,000 users will be added into generic list. There are some rules like if you have a opted out not to, if user says that I don't want to get any email marketing, you might have seen on the website there is a checkbox says do not send me marketing campaign or marketing related emails, then those users gets ignored. And Send has that kind of capability where based on those flags, the email gets ignored. And the specific list is more around very specific to a case or a product. And this can be created at the runtime, right? And we'll talk about that, how it gets created at a runtime. So two important thing in a send is one is the campaign and second one is the automation. Both campaign and automation revolves around the audience list. So audience list is a list where all the contacts, or we call it as a subscriber, all of them gets added into the particular list, right? So this is a basic concept around that. When we define a audience list, these are some of the metadata which we add, like list name, list ID, report. And when we log in into the Sitecore Send, we'll get the opportunity to go through this field. So this is more for the reference. Like, for example, set your settings. So unsubscribe settings offered by Sitecore Send. So there are different kind of settings. We can create a custom field as well. Like for example, uh, we need a secondary phone number, right? Secondary mobile number. And if Sitecore out of the box API doesn't provide that, we have a flexibility to define a field and use that field for the secondary phone number or secondary email, or maybe for any other purpose. And the segment, as I mentioned, like it is a particular audience email list that segments gets under that. In uh, so once we say that okay, audience list is this, define the audience list, then there are different types of email campaign, right? So this is for reference, like regular campaign, RSS campaign, automation campaign, and A/B testing. So campaign is like when we go into Sitecore Send, it doesn't require any kind of uh, code to be written. It's a no code campaign editor and allow us to design our own campaign by dragging items and layouts. We can use out of the box templates or campaign, or we can build our own, right? That flexibility Sitecore Send provides. In regular, so these are four different options we see when we go to Sitecore Send and create on the campaign. We can choose one of them based on the need. So regular campaign is like use this if you want to send a crafted email message to your target audience. For example, when we want to send newsletters, promotional over or product updates. So these are kind of general campaign. We keep sending them. Then second one is the RSS. If we want to connect our campaign directly to an RSS feed and update the content automatically. So we read this read can RSS campaign can be read and update the content automatically. Automation campaign is like we define a workflow, and we'll see in the demo as well. Like we define the workflow. In the workflow, we set the trigger based on this specific criteria. For example, if somebody gets added into the list, right, or at 11 o'clock every morning, uh, based on this time zone, the email should get triggered. So that also gets handled under the automation campaign. In A/B testing, I'm sure it is a very common terminology where we have a more than one version of experience, and experience gets rendered based on the type of user. Like we do a uh, kind of data sampling. When I say sampling, it means you divide the traffic, that X number of traffic, Y number of traffic should go to this variant, and Y number of traffic should go to this variant, right? Even though in email campaign, these are the two different version, uh, and same campaign in a term of subject line, but contents may differ, or say campaign senders, but the content may differ for the content senders, right? That is based on the that is A/B testing. And I'm sure in earlier version of Sitecore, we run the experiences to have this which page has more click through, that kind of. So that is in the real time. This is more into the email campaign. So when we set up a campaign in the Sitecore, I'll try to just share my screen, second screen, so that we can look into the more demo part of it. So technically, if you see the workflow, it is a very simple basic setup where we say, okay, set up a campaign with the basic metadata, choose email list, like from which email, which list we want to send campaign to, design the template, what we want to send in as part of that email body, right? That's a step three. And then define the delivery, like you want to send now or maybe later on, right? And before you send it, you preview the content, right? So that like how the emails look like, is the content right, or anything needs to be adjusted, right? So that kind of functionality, that kind of steps is called preview steps. So it is very simple, easy, like you do basic setup, email list, design, schedule, delivery, and preview. Once you confirm, once the preview is done, this is step, and based on the trigger, either it is a time trigger or maybe some other condition which we have set up in the in the automation. Based on that, email gets triggered. So then we talked about email automation. Like automation is the very common word in the send world. You will, when we go to the send, will show you the email automation is a way to create emails that reach to the right people with the right message at the right moment without doing work every time, right? It could be inform, reward, engage subscriber, remind customer that they have abandoned their cart. Like sometimes what happens, like we log into an e-commerce site, we add the items and we close the browser, or we just drop the journey there. So based on the abandoned cart events, we create a list of users and start sending that you were there on the site or on the app, you forget to do. So it's a like a giving a trigger to restart the journey where the user left, right? Third point, encourage customers to complete their purchase. Product recommendation, if you want to do a customized order notification and follow up on the purchase. So this is more around like all all these points revolves around the customer engagement or a user engagement, right? Either it could be sending a fresh notification, or asking user to, if the user left in between abandoned, then resume their purchase purchase or shopping cycle kind of thing, right? So that's the automation. Let me go to the portal and let's do some deep dive into. Second. You can see the see the Sitecore cloud portal.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the Sitecore cloud.io. I'm sure most of you have seen it. So this is our internal sandbox, what we use as a partner account. And there are different instances of the composable services, CDP, Connect, Content Hub, Personalize, XM Cloud, and there is a separate portal for search and a separate portal for send. So when send got launched, it was not part of the Sitecore Cloud portal. Now they, from couple of months back, they started connecting this to new portal. So if anybody get the new any user or any customer purchase a new Sitecore Send license, then they will see the Sitecore Send option here, right? Anyone older on the maybe a year back procured the license, Then there is a separate login credential for that. And to bring that independent product from to the Sitecore cloud portal, it requires a migration. So migration is like uh, what Sitecore says that okay, you have to do everything from scratch, right? So we will add the Sitecore Send here, but whatever data you have in the separate instance of Sitecore Send, you have to bring that data here once again with your own effort, right? So uh, that's the one of the challenge currently have, because we did implementation for Sitecore Send for one of our customer, but it was like migration was tricky. Okay, so let me go to, so this is the demo portal of Sitecore Send, right? Let's go here. So in the Sitecore Send, you will see like home campaign. Under the campaign, I was showing that, regular, RSS, and repeatable and transactional, right? These are kind of campaign. Then we have a growth tools. Growth tools is like there are two options. One is the landing pages and subscription forms. So landing pages is like when we send any email automation, and there is a link in that email automation, we can embed the direct page. Sometime we create a promotional page, for example, and we want user to go directly to that promotional page, right? That promotion page or offers page. In that scenario, we create a direct landing page and embed that link uh, to the uh, user, so that user click and go directly to that link. And the subscription form is like it is a Sitecore. This is the embedded form as part of the send, and when we embed this particular form, it goes directly to this. Then under audience, you got email list and segments. Email list is like list of user. For example, if I click here, you will see the user list or all the email list. And for example, I have created this today just for demo purpose. So there are two user under this list, right? Nobody has unsubscribed it. Not a single was unbounced and nothing was archived, right? So I created mainly this for demo purpose. Under this, we have uh, two members, right? Two team member are here. Then and we'll do some functionality around this. Then there is a bulk operation, like if suppose we got 1,000 of users and we want to import that directly, we can import member list into it, archive it, unsubscribe, delete, copy from another list. So these are the bulk operation options we have under the audience, right? Set your settings. Uh, if we want to put a particular page URL, right, we can put it here and it will go to that redirect page URL. This is something create custom field. As I was referring, like for example, in the message layout, if you want to have additional fields which is not available out of the box, right, then we can add the custom field. For example, I created this custom mobile field to pass the mobile number, and I'll show you the use case why I have to do this, right? And again, the segment. So there's nothing currently in segment. Then there are campaign reports. You will see like how many automations we have run, the reports associated with it, and there is option to have a custom report as well. So we'll go to that. The next is automation, right? So this is some automation I was playing around this morning for the demo, and so it shows automation, and then we'll talk around. We'll deep dive into this as well, like how the automation looks like. Then there are other stuff like setting, templates, integration, website, and separation list. So what I will do, I'll try to do two use cases. One is for the email campaign, right? And second thing, I'll also try to cover the SMS, sending SMS using Send. But as we all know that Sitecore Send does not offer the app SMS functionality. So we use some other composable services to achieve that, right? So going to the campaign, for example, this is a regular campaign I have opted for. Simple. There are two ways to do it in this. I was referring XM Cloud, this particular slide. You go there. So this one I was referring like add forms, publish page, and the fill the form. So there is an interaction from the website, right? So what happens? Sitecore Send provides a list of APIs, which if when a user submit a form, the front end will call that API called add subscriber, right? And that subscriber will get added into this particular email list. So let me show you how that works. So for example, there is a documentation available. Second. If you see this site code documentation, right? In this, there is a list of APIs it provides, like get all subscriber, add a new subscriber, right? So this is the new subscriber, new subscriber I was referring, which when a user submits this form, it gets added into a particular list, right? So this is the API which says that, okay, which mailing list I want to add, right? The format, the name, the email, and the custom field, right? This is the exact, the request, right? And request is also given for the different languages and the response, right? So what happens technically, any users submit a request from the website that gets added into uh, this particular list. Okay. Now I'll try to, very simple. We go here and we say, let's create a regular campaign, right? And we have option to populate these fields, like what is the campaign name, subject line, what is the preview text, what should be the from name. So from name is like something, it's a currently it's a demo account. So it's a default coming this particular account and where to reply to. In all the cases, if when we are in the real production scenario, right, and the customer is using this, then from email has to be validated uh, in the send, right? So for example, no reply at the rate of sitecore.com, for example, right? So that will come here once it is authorized, right? And anybody that's a sender email, and there is possibility that a end user may send an email. So which inbox it will go, that is also configurable in the send, like both from and the to, right, where we want to submit that. So this is a particular email campaign. In the interest of time, I will let me just do a quick one. So for example, just to so good try the email test, right, and send confirmation. So I will remove this one and I'll add, for example, my email here, or you can add your email, like if the email is received, right? If we want to track our campaign using Google Analytics, we can say yes and track the revenue. It's a very simple uh, no code platform, as I mentioned, right? And and go to the, it says that select a list. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just selecting this list, adding it here. Valid confirmation email address. Go back. Oh, I think I have deleted that one. That's why it is killing problem. One second. Let me save and exit. I need to use that Sitecore email ID. One second. Or let me do just simple, like, let me do it from scratch. Otherwise, we have a limited time. So from email is this, reply to this. So this is something I have removed that point of time. That's why it was giving me error. So I created this. I'm going into, now here is the option to select the template, right? So the template I was referring, it provides a lot of out of the box template, right? And we can create our own custom template as well. So there is a lot of out of the box. Send provides these templates. So for example, let's take this one, says okay, and we can edit all this content, right? It is editable, like we are working on a XM Cloud pages, right? I'll keep it that as it is. Uh, so when you save, it will say that okay, let's sell. Then we can do a preview as well for this one, like how the preview looks like when this email lands users email box, how that will look like, right? Now I was referring to this scheduled delivery. So scheduled delivery is like we configure it. I want to send this campaign now, or you will able to preview your settings on the next. So if I want to schedule it, I can do it now, right? And it will give me the date and time, which time zone I want to send it, right? So for example, I'll just do it now, right? It says no email is defined in the email list, right? And it won't go because there is no email. Now I'll show you a quick thing. Let me open this one. So that is the way we create the email list. This is the email it looks like. And this is the campaign I created earlier. Right. So in this campaign, there are two, this email list is selected. This email list has a 2 subscriber and goes back to this. And if I'll send it, it will, the email will get instantly sent, right? So this is very simple, common example. It provides a lot of, uh, I don't want to send it this again, return to your campaign, right? So this is how we send the campaign, right? And the email is in, I'm sure in my inbox. Let me, now one important thing which I want to show you, how this SMS works in the uh, send, right? I'm sure this is something interesting to know. So to send the SMS, right? We are using, let's check, skip some of the part. Let me show you this one first. Important. Okay. So if you see, this is the end-to-end, this is a real composable service integration, right? So we have a Sitecore CM, which is called rendering host in XM Cloud. So content editor add forms component to page, publish a page, page gets published to website, user submits a form, right? It triggers the automation. Now, this is the email automation. I also want to send a scenario where I want to send a bulk SMS for a follow-up, right? So Sitecore Send does not provide SMS functionality, but Sitecore Send provides like setting up the automation. We can create a segmented list. We can create a audience list. Those functionalities there in the Sitecore Send. Now, there is another service we are using, which is called Twilio. Twilio is a communication service, right? Which get used for any kind of SMS. It provides an enterprise software, right? It provides a lot of other functionality, but for our purpose, we are using a to send the SMS. Now, Sitecore Send is a separate product. Twilio is a separate product, and Sitecore provides a service called Sitecore Connect, right? So using the Sitecore Connect, we establish a connection between Sitecore Send and Twilio, right, to send the SMS. So what happens, and I'll show you that on the interface as well. Like content editor, any when I say content editor, content author logs into the connect, right? Clone a SMS workflow. When I say clone means we have predefined SMS workflow. We say that okay, let's use this SMS workflow. Then add Sitecore send list. The send list is the list which we have created in the Sitecore, right? So, and also we want to send the SMS to that particular list, right? So that process happens here. Then set up SMS content, what we want to do, like hi Britesh or hi Vishal, for example, right? And the remaining content, all this content gets created dynamically, and I'll show you there. Add variables for personal details. For example, personal details means the name or any other field like address or location. Those fields gets dynamically picked up, right? And then define the trigger. When when the condition meets, right? This particular based on this trigger, the SMS gets initiated, get the contact number, and send the SMS. This is, let me just go to into the system and I'll show you there. So for example, you see here, this is a connect interface. What I did, I was there in the uh, go here, go to Sitecore Cloud, right? So this is the interface where we were there, and I was working on this portal. I clicked on the connect, right? It says open app, and in this particular, what we have done is Sitecore send with the custom field. For example, I am here. I clicked on this particular recipe. We call in any in that in terms of connect or in terms of send, we call this as a recipe. I'm just clicking on there, right? If I click on this, so you see here, see this. This is a trigger. We call it as we have created a webhook, right? This is a Workato webhook. So Connect uses internally Workato, which I'm sure a few of you have might have already worked on it. So what it does is we are saying that okay, sorry. So what we are saying is we given the event name, right? The endpoint which I want to connect, right? And the JSON schema, right? And if you see this JSON schema, I have to first, this is currently stopped, right? In this context, what I have created here is custom field. if you see the custom mobile, I was showing that. So this custom mobile field will have the mobile number, which I will use to send the SMS, right? So for example, let's enable I'll able to only send SMS to myself, right? And under, so once is called, you see in the Twilio, see here the message structure, like hi, the name it is being picked from the JSON structure, right? And also the event name. So we can structure the message dynamically, right? Using Twilio, and we can select the particular structure of the message, what we want to send in the email, right? Let me, for example, I click on the, first I need to stop this. Okay, save. So you will see the entire structure of the message here, right? Uh, there is a custom field. And if you see the JSON structure of this will look like something like this. So this is the message which get passed from connect to Twilio. And if you see in the structure here, what I have done is in the custom field, the phone number is coming in, right? And I'm reading this phone number and sending this SMS, send SMS message via Twilio. So this is the connector, right? So if I want to create any kind of new uh, connection, for example, I'll quickly show you here, right? Create a recipe, right? Trigger from the webhook. I'm going to give a name, test SMS webhook. Example, I'm using this one. I say trigger webhook, start building, right? New event via. Then I say add action here. And in the action, we say, okay, action, uh, select an app. It gives me an option to select the app. I can select this Twilio and set up send SMS. And then again, same thing will happen. It will allow me to which Twilio account I want to use. So for example, I say, okay, I want to use this one. There is a default number comes from Twilio, right? And then start drafting the message here. It is header. There is a payload, which I will import from there. So this is how we can send SMS as well, right? Using Sitecore composable service, XM Cloud to Sitecore Send, Send to Sitecore Connect, Sitecore Connect to Twilio, right? So this is the one of the important business use case, because sometimes it happens like customer don't want to, buy uh, two different services, one for email and one for SMS. So that's a way to centralize the available services. I know we have only 3 minutes left. I'll just keep the floor open for any kind of question. There are a lot of content which I wanted to cover, but yeah, feel free to ask any question, team.
I think that's a valuable experience now because I think this is a lot to digest. And also, guys, any questions? We can extend for 5 minutes. If you do have any questions, you can ask it now.
I hope this knowledge sharing might have help you guys, may help you in future as well when you have a use cases, right? Sitecore Send has improved a lot in last couple of months in terms of features, in terms of the APIs, right? A lot of functionalities there. So that's really helpful.
Yeah, I think this is what an experience speaks because I think you covered a lot of things like regarding the send and automation as well. Because earlier we used to have only marketing automations, but now with the changing time we do have DXP and all. So I think this is a really valuable session for the entire team. So thank you, Ritesh.
Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you, Yamini, for opportunity. Thanks, Vishal. Any no
Guys, if you
questions? Good.
any questions, yeah, I was also about to ask.
No worries.
As this is new to everybody, right? I think we are just waiting for like to understand more things and like also to do some things on the in the real time also. I think that's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good
I
thing.
think oh, no problem. Feel free to, if you need any kind of conversation outside this session, you can connect me on the LinkedIn. We all are connected, right? So feel free to connect there and we can have a more conversation.
Yep. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you, everyone.